Who am I? I don't know who I am. These are all questions that all of us have had. And I knew that I was different by the age of 7. Now, stick around and I will explain why. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Michelle, and thank you so much all for watching and all the love and support that you have shown me up to this point. We have broken and hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, which is fantastic, and I thank you so much for all of it. How did I know that I was a transgender woman? So this is a video that I debated on actually making because there's so many opinions about what defines a woman versus a man. I'm not going to jump down the rabbit hole. This is not my definition of being who I am, of being a woman, is how I felt inside, and how I feel inside is now expressed on my outside. So certain people, they'll define it however they want. They'll talk about the chromosomes. They'll break it down to all the way down to the genetic level. You can call it whatever you want. You can call yourself an elephant. You can call yourself a tree. It doesn't matter. It's all about what you feel inside and what your soul is telling you. Some parents would call that a phase or something that, you know, as a young person that they're just experimenting. They're not sure of who they are yet, which is typical and it is very true in most cases. However, I used to literally dream about being a woman, and I don't know why. It was always there in my mind. That's who I felt I was. And what I saw on the outside was not how I felt on the inside, even at such a young age. Now, some of you say, how is that even possible? I was not meant to be the person that I saw in the mirror. I hated the parts that I had. I noticed that I knew that they were different. Just from being in school and with kids and everything, you know, you learn all the different parts and you learn how everything works. And I knew that something wasn't right. Like, my body didn't feel right. My soul was telling me something different than what I was actually seeing in the mirror. So my reflection was giving me almost like this dysphoria, even at such a young age. I would go to my sister's room and I would wear their dresses or wear their clothes, and that felt more comfortable for me. That relieved my dysphoria, even though I didn't know what dysphoria was at that age, but it relieved that tension and unease that I felt about my body. And I hated the fact that I couldn't be who I wanted to be. I was so afraid that I was so different, and why was I so different? I questioned it constantly, and I was so afraid of being in school and people finding out that I was this different person. I loved playing with the doll houses that my sisters had, and I loved doing all the different things that the girls used to do. At a young age, I knew my body was different. I knew there was something not right about me. I used to wish and pray in bed every single night that I would wake up as a woman. And at such a young age, that is such a horrible feeling to have already at that point. Now, I didn't know the definitions or the terms of all of these things, but as time passed, I started learning the different terminology going up into my teenagehood. And I put all of this behind me because in school, I couldn't be who I wanted to be. I put aside how I felt as I got older. And eventually, it got to the point where it really started to bring out depression in me. It started bothering me. My depression got really bad. I was very anxious. I still didn't feel right. This wasn't who I was supposed to be. But I couldn't tell anybody. When I was 15, I finally went and I saw a counselor. And I explained to the counselor that I felt different, that I wanted to be a woman, and that I would wear women's clothing. And he didn't understand that he wasn't specialized in this type of thing. So this was in the 90s, so there was not a lot of information. The internet was not as big, obviously, as it was today, so the information was not there. It was mostly just found in books. One of the questions that were asked as a teenager was, how does wearing the women's clothing make me feel? Now, this is up for another topic. I will do another video for this, doing cross-dressing versus actually being a trans person. trans man, trans woman, it doesn't matter. But one of the questions he asked was, how does it feel to wear the women's clothing? And I said, it brings me peace. And that was something that I remember once when I told him, he didn't know how to respond because it was something still so new to so many people. It had been around for a very long time, yes, but still a lot of people didn't talk about it. It wasn't a widely discussed thing. Even after speaking to a counselor, this is something that they thought maybe would just pass, or maybe it was something, maybe have a chemical imbalance. And that's what I was told, and that was in one of the reports that my parents had requested to have. Being a trans woman means so many different things to so many different people. There are so many debates about what is a woman, what is the definition of a woman, and what does it matter in the end? Why is that a big thing? You can call me whatever you want. And this is just my opinion, I am now, how I look on the outside is how I feel on the inside. Having my long hair, I love having my long hair. I love being able to put on makeup. I love wearing the different shoes and the boots and the fashion. I love all these things. And a lot of people will debate, well, that's still genetically, you're still just a man wearing women's clothing. Okay, on a genetic level, sure. Yeah, I mean, obviously we can't change that. I think that's where a lot of people get hung up. And this is just my opinion. I just think that because they can't understand it, they fear it. And that's such a big phrase that a lot of people use because it's true. People fear what they don't understand. Make sure you guys like the video. The more thumbs up it gets, the more people can see, and my content can get out there to try to help as many people as possible. Without those thumbs up, without you watching, I can't make any of this possible. I want to help and reach as many people as I can. I've already had so many comments that I've been able to answer. I already have talked to people through messages and through my live chats, and I feel like I've already reached so many people, and it makes me so happy inside knowing that I'm able to help these people. Even if it's just one person, that makes it all worth it. And that's the whole point of these videos, is to make sure that people are getting the information, hearing my stories and hearing my journey that maybe they can relate to. Not everyone is going to have the same journey, and that's okay. All right, thank you all for watching my video today. I hope you all enjoyed the content, but please make sure you like the video, subscribe, and leave some comments down below. It'll help me greatly. And if you're interested in more content, I do have videos on hair removal and on my surgery. And over here, I also have content on hormones. Now, I'm going to be touching up on some of these videos. There are other things that I do want to go over. So thank you all again for watching. I'll see you in the next one.